Welcome back to Very Caliente. My amazing host, Pablo Alsina, and I have another wonderful guest for you, Dr. Lisa Tan. And if you're not inspired by her mission, I don't know what else will leave you inspired after learning more about Lisa. So, Lisa is a speaker and she's also a philanthropist by heart. She just wants to leave this world with knowing that she did everything she could to have this world a better place. And she started with this program and initiative in Puerto Rico that broke a Guinness record. I can't wait for her to talk about it, about Pásalo Pa'lante with acts of kindness. And now she's spreading that around the world. Welcome, Dr. Lisa Tan.
Oh, thank you for having me. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Pablo.
I love that intro, Jenny, but leave this world. Lisa has so many more decades and decades to go. Come on. First of all, you look 15. I love your energy, Lisa. And Lisa, talk to us about this Pásalo Pa'lante and what you brought to Puerto Rico and hopefully worldwide real soon.
Yes, I would love to share. It actually all started one night. I had my two kids right next to me, and there was a group of police that just stormed into my neighbor's house. And at that moment, I asked, what the heck is going on? And I remember a few days later, I was scrolling through YouTube, and this poet said and asked me, where is the richest place on earth? And I said, in my mind, United States, the graveyard, where books are never written, hugs never given, I love yous never said. Have you been there? Well, I was there. And I know that I did not want to bring that to my grave. And when Chin Yao, the founder of I Love You Puerto Rico or Te Amo PR, asked me if I would join this kindness movement. And we didn't have to wait for the next hurricane to hit the island before we started being kind to our neighbors. Because actually, that's what we saw. After the hurricane, neighbors were helping one another. And we're like, but why wait for another tragedy? We can do it now, today. And that's how Pásalo Pa'lante was born. To spread kindness from one neighbor to another, from one grandchild to abuela. And if you were in Puerto Rico, this is what you would have felt. If you were driving down the highway, you would have seen Pásalo Pa'lante on the billboards. You would have heard the anthem on the radio and also every single Caribbean cinema. And you would have seen many of these cards, over 1 million, being passed around from neighbor to neighbor, friend to friend, stranger to stranger. So when one person did a random act of kindness, like buying a coffee for a stranger, that person would have passed this card on and encouraged this newly found friend with a cup of coffee, say, hey, Pásalo Pa'lante, pay it forward. And then this card was handed to the next person and the next person and the next person. And Puerto Rico set an official new world record with over 1 million acts of pledged acts of kindness.
Amazing. That's incredible. And you were right. Everybody was talking about it. It's so funny. You and I talked about it months before the event. I was telling my parents, and then my parents called me right away the first time they saw the commercial. Jenny, we saw it. And they were so excited. So I want you to talk about, it's not a very easy thing to do to bring that whole island together. We're talking about over 78 municipalities. You were able, together with your leadership team, to unite the school system, politics, right? Different mayors that were there, the industry sector as well. How were you able to bring everybody together towards one goal?
We had to have a cohesive vision. And that cohesive vision is that it is not about politics. It is not about any one religion or any one philosophy or any one nonprofit organization. It was about all of us across all divisions. We were there to tear down the walls, to have different leaders from different religious organizations shake hands. And if you saw the music video, and I'm sure you guys did, you would have seen that. People shaking hands, neighbors helping each other. And that is what helped drive it. Our team started with that one cohesive vision. So when we went and reached out to every single mayor, all 78 of them, we were down to like the last 3 weeks. It didn't stop. Mathematically, it didn't make sense, but we got all 78 of them. They were starting to reach out to us because we had the vision to unite.
Yeah, and that's what's beautiful about your vision is uniting people. Unfortunately, lots of times there's more clicks and there's more conversation on division. So you want to separate people. So that's why left and right. That's why teams, they'll divide the two greatest soccer players. Which one's better than this one? We see that all the time. But what you built is sort of like an army, as in a soldier fights for the left and for the right. A U.S. soldier defends the United States, not if it's a Democrat president, not if it's a Republican president. They do what they feel is right for the country. And I believe it's the same thing for that message, and the same thing that I hope for everybody and for all religions. Do what's best for the world. And if we can all unite, despite race, social class, countries, nationalities, if we can just all see we are all human beings, let's unite, it would be a much, much better place. So Lisa, I applaud what you are building. What are the next steps and what can people do to support you in your movement?
Thank you, Pablo. I love that. I heard that fire from both you and Jennie. Whoa, next steps. So what we observed that happened in Puerto Rico so beautifully when the Secretary of Education activated every single public school student and when all 78 mayors united, what we saw was that this, what I like to call almost like a heart song. If I could hold a microphone to my heart, this is what it would say. It would say, kindness, it's accessible to all. And what we proved in Puerto Rico works. And what I mean by that is that we got the HeartMath Institute behind this movement.
Can you tell people what the HeartMath Institute is so people understand what you mean by the HeartMath Institute? Because that's really key.
Yes. So this institute believes in using science to show what we can't see, smell, or taste. And what they were able to show is that when our heart sings, and we all know what that feels like, right? When you do something good, your heart feels so good. It emits a frequency. When we're stressed, the frequency looks like this. However, when we're in joy, it becomes a smooth sinusoidal wave. And there are devices all over the world, in every single continent. And what happened in Puerto Rico was when there was this outburst of joy and kindness, it rippled through the island. And the devices that were in Puerto Rico picked it up. And it registered the most elevated level of heart coherence. And it was undeniable because after 20 years of research that started out of Princeton and now adopted at HeartMath Institute, it showed that this happened in 1,000,000,001 chance. So it means it was not a fluke. It was undeniable that there was massive joy and kindness flowing through the island. But what happened next surprised all of us. Even 48 hours later, when we stopped counting the official count for the world record, the song was still playing at all the festivals. The cards were still being passed around in circulation, over 1 million of them. and devices on other continents picked it up. I'm going to repeat, it wasn't just local in Puerto Rico. Devices in Europe picked it up, and different parts of the world, such that the reading was not just in Puerto Rico, but the global heart song was being picked up by the devices.
Wow.
So once again, this is 1 trillion in one chance when this happens. Very similar to when you think of a friend and they call you and you go like, hey, I was just thinking about you. It works the same way.
Wow. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Dr. Lisa Tan, so I know that you said this worked in Puerto Rico. What's next? I know you want to spread this to the world. And did I hear correctly? There is a 1 billion acts of kindness that you're going after?
Yes, we are. And once again, this isn't about me. This isn't even about our small, mighty group of volunteers behind the scenes. This is about you. This is about all of us uniting. And yes, we did set a pretty high bar. We went for 1 million last year and we succeeded. So this year we're like, come on, let's do it. 1 billion. And we actually think it's very achievable. And the reason is because kindness is inherent in every single one of us. This is who we are in our natural state of being. It's in you, it's in me. So 1 billion, it's doable. So we're going to take the model started in Puerto Rico by activating the schools, the kids, and everyone. We're going to take this model and we're going to bring it to every single country, all 195 countries. Can you imagine when the entire world is singing the same song? By the way, there's a song that's going to be released. Just dropping that in.
Can't wait to hear it.
And songs unite. I mean, growing up, who doesn't remember We Are the World, when everybody, all these stars got together and donating money for the needy in Africa in those times. And there's something about music and love and giving. And but there's also something that humans are lacking. It's sort of like they need the accident to happen. So I'm from Venezuela, horrible earthquake in Venezuela, people suffering. And now all of a sudden they're giving to Venezuela. And I'm like, well, they were suffering before the earthquake also. And there's no talk about that. So we need, just like you said, let's bring out kindness. Let's bring out support for everybody, not just after the tragedy where it's sort of like people are like, oh, I feel good because I did something. And then they go buy new iPhone because it's like, oh, I did my part. So it's like we need to, I love what you're building. It's like it should be continuous. Like we should always be kind. We should always be supportive of people. And I believe, Lisa, the billion is possible because there's that exponential chart. Like once you get to 1 million, now 5 million, then boom, it's going to shoot up. And it can also shoot back down the other way, but we have to put up the good fight here with what you're building, or we try to build with the podcast Very Caliente and with this summit as well. So I applaud you, Lisa. What other tips for people to get that heart palpitating the right way?
There are several. We would love to invite everyone to be kindness ambassadors in their community. Tell your family, tell your friends. And at the end, I'm happy to share a website. And it is truly about just taking that moment, take a breath through your heart, and dropping in. It's in us. And to invite everyone to this global kindness season. What started as a week became a month, 2, and now 3 months because so many organizations are joining in. And like Pablo says, blessings to Venezuela. It's not about something we just do one day, but we do need a moment, a reason to do it. So there will be 3 synchronized moments where we will invite the world to participate by dropping into their heart and doing it in a way that you would like to do. You could dance, you can sing, you could do a prayer, you can do a meditation. Remember, this is about us. It's not about any one philosophy. And we will make this known to everyone. And during these 3 synchronized moments, guess what? The HeartMath Institute will be back taking data, and we would be so excited to share something that our hearts already know, and the science is catching up.
Yes, finally, that's amazing. This whole thing about we tend to say be kind, be kind, be kind, and I think people overcomplicate it, or they think, oh, it's just me, so what difference can I make? What are some examples that you saw that really truly made a difference, even when they were simple in Puerto Rico, to inspire about what is the kind of kindness that you can quantify the impact? I would love to learn some examples.
I'm going to share one. The smile to whoever you see. When you literally, it's going to the gym, right? When you literally work out these 2 cheek muscles, it releases so many happy chemicals in your body. And at the same time, the person who's receiving the smile gets the same happy, joyful high. So one thing we did, we actually got all the dentists involved and did a smile challenge.
No way.
Simple as a smile is an act of kindness. Everyone can smile.
I love that. Actually, when I'm on the air, I finish all my, like lots of my broadcasts. I always tag it with, and don't forget, smile, everybody. And whenever I see people out in the streets, they're like, oh my God, you just make us so happy. You uplift us. And really, I'm just giving the either the sports scores when I was a sports anchor or weather, but I would always add that tag because so many times people don't smile. And you know what I like? Selfie sticks are so bad for humanity for this reason. Remember when you'd go on vacation and you'd ask, hey, can you take a photo? So you'd ask anybody, a different race, a different nationality, and they'd take a photo and you'd share that moment with them. We've lost that with the selfie stick. We've lost it with the selfies, that interaction with people. And like you're saying, people are afraid to even smile at people. It's like, oh, why are you looking at me? Because it's like they're all so close-minded. Then there's dating apps, and people are only picking people that are already their race, already their this and this and this, instead of meeting people in person. Like love at first sight doesn't happen online. Love at first sight happens when that person smiles at you and looks at you. And it doesn't have to be love like, oh, dating. It could be that love of making somebody happy, making somebody joyful. So I absolutely love that tip, Lisa, because I've done it my whole life to the point that people are like, what's he planning? No, man, I like smiling. When I'm at the cash register, I always tell them a joke. And it
Cash register.
And then you see somebody right behind and they're like, oh, why are they taking so long? Why are they taking so long? It's like, well, they're feeding off your negative energy. Like just smile at them. And all of a sudden it drops their stress. So it's good for everybody, and especially seniors. I see so many seniors that they're lost in their minds. Give them a smile. Give them a conversation. Break that. And again, let's stop dividing people by races, creeds, colors. It's like, I tell people like, oh, I have a great friend, this great Asian friend, I have this great Black friend. I'm like, no, you have a great friend. Great friend. Why are we labeling people? And I think, Lisa, the best way to break all that is with a smile. What are your thoughts on all that, and what more we can do to let's be one, man? One. This is one life. Why can't we all imagine all the people? Not to go, John. Life in peace.
We actually sang that very song at the last volunteer retreat, and it just gathered all of us. Everything you just said is very caliente, Pablo. So how about this? We start a challenge for everyone. The next time you're in the supermarket, smile at someone. When you're standing in that line, just smile at someone, either in front of you or behind you. It is literally that simple. And when you do, we'll have all the platforms ready where you can share your act of kindness and pledge your act of kindness. So please, we've started already. Share those acts of kindness, and that ripples. And you are part of that ripple. And we're trying to make not just a small ripple. We're trying to create a tsunami of
Mhm.
kindness through the world.
I love that. So, Dr. Lisa, I want you to speak to two people. The people who are saying, that's great, but it's just me. Like, really, what kind of impact could I have just being me? And then the other person who's like, tell me more. How can I volunteer and start that where I'm at?
Yes. So, to the first friend out there, if you fall into that category, what is the impact of one person? Well, let me tell you the science behind that. It's been shown through the HeartMath Institute that when one person sings to a tree, yes, you're wondering, a tree? Yes, a tree. When one person sings to a tree, this tree, where we have this special device tied to the tree trunk, picks up this signal. And guess what? Trees on other continents pick it up. Yes, one person singing a tree. So if you're a tree hugger like me, go hug a tree today. And yes, have you ever just say hi to a neighbor, the grumpy neighbor that never talks to anybody? And do you notice that that shifts your neighbor? And do you notice maybe that neighbor starts smiling a little more after you decide to say hi? Yes, you have impact, and there is science to show it. Our heart has a magnetic field. Okay, if you can see me, right? Arms, if you stretch out your arms right now with me, it has this type of field that radiates outward. So yes, you just being you and walking around in joy affects the person walking by, just by your field created by your heart. So I hope that answers your question about that. And two, for the person who is so excited, who knows exactly what they want to do, go to joinpasa.org, and all the information is there.
That's incredible. And anybody can join as a volunteer and start a movement like this where they're at anywhere in the world?
Yes, we are looking for friends who want to get involved at any country. Everyone is welcome. Remember, this is about us, not any one particular person. You, me, we.
Incredible.
Also,
Didn't I tell you, Pablo?
no, she's awesome. Totally, exactly how I like to live my life. Super positive. Lisa, what are your thoughts on? Lots of times we have that field. I believe in that, but lots of times when you're super positive, it rubs people the wrong way, especially when they're the opposite. So it's like, wait, this guy's being too positive. This guy's preaching too much about love or too much about being good. Oh, there's something wrong with him, and people attack you. So lots of times, people that are positive are like, oh man, I have to be a little bit less positive. So I think we have to break that stigma. We have to continue being positive. And the best way to show how it really works is when you're driving, if somebody tells you you're number one, but uses a different number, the different finger, or they're cursing at you, now all of a sudden you're all frustrated and it's affecting your whole day. So it's like, if people being negative to you affects you the whole day, then if I'm positive to people, I can affect their whole day. But lots of times, Lisa, it's not easy because when you're too positive, people are like, oh, there's something wrong with that person. They're a Bible thumper, or they're too energetic, or they must be on some crazy thing. Have you seen that side also?
I've seen that side, and this is what I share. The cell phone. When the cell phone is on airplane mode, you stop receiving texts, emails, everything. Mm-hmm. However, when we take ourselves or the cell phone off airplane mode, it starts receiving messages. Why? Because of the 5G network. Mm-hmm. So when we share the science, which is just like the 5G network, we are all connected, just like our cell phones, through this human 5G network, which I like to call the OG 5G.
One that doesn't kill trees.
So when they're like going, what are you talking about? Kindness? Bring in the science. I'd love to bring in the cell phone because everyone can make sense of the cell phone. And when we can show that we are all connected just like how cell phones are all connected through the 5G network. One act of kindness from one person ripples through the entire
Amazing.
5G network.
I love it. And that's what I love, that you're bringing the science to, especially for those of you, not those of you, for the people that perhaps in the past and be like, oh, that's just, be kind, fluffy. What do you mean, like hugging the trees?
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
your
We
science
have the
backing it
science
up.
now to show it, and it really
Awesome.
helps. It helps land the plane.
Well, welcome, Dr. Lisa. Thank you so much for sharing so much wisdom and so much inspiration. I told everybody you were going to leave inspired after this one. And can you just one more time put your website out there, like share your website so people can connect with you?
Yes. Thank you so much, Jenny, Pablo, and everyone tuning in. Go to joinpasa.org. joinpasa.org.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Lisa Tan. Bye. Incredible, incredible. Pablo, what do you say?
That was awesome, Lisa Tan. We followed her from before with the whole Pásalo Pa'lante in Puerto Rico, and I enjoy every time I talk to her, and I love how she broke it down with the science of it and the energy, and something Jenny and I believe in: keep smiling. Keep smiling. En las buenas y en las malas, you have to keep smiling. In the good and the bad, you have to keep smiling. And Jenny, I have to say adieu. But I want to thank everybody who took part in this summit, and they're watching. There's still a lot more to go. I am Pablo Alsina, at Pablo Alsina on Instagram. Send me a message. I promise to write you back. Jenny, you're a superstar. Thank you again for all our guests that we had today. It's been a complete, absolute honor.
Thank you for joining your energy, bringing your energy. And remember that you can also find Pablo and I every week in the Very Caliente podcast. So make sure you don't miss those. And for now, we're going to break into a small commercial.
Very hot, very caliente.